Okay, this is 2-5, solving equations with integers. So to solve these equations, we are going to be using inverse operations. So remember, inverse means opposite. So what is the opposite operation of addition? Okay, that inverse would be subtraction. What is the inverse operation of multiplication? Okay, that would be division. So this is a pair, and this is a pair. Okay, they are how we are going to isolate the variable. Okay, we're going to use inverse operations to isolate the variable, and variable is the letter in the equation, the unknown. So here's example 1a. We have a -3 plus y equals -5. We want to isolate the y. We want to make the y all by itself, get it alone. So we are going to do the inverse or opposite of -3, or you can also look at it as a subtract 3. So what is the inverse, the opposite of subtract 3, or the opposite of -3? Well, that opposite, that inverse would be +3, or +3. Now take a look at this. This is like its own little addition section. -3 plus 3. Our signs are different. Find the difference. 3 minus 3 is 0. Goes away. Goodbye. Y, it's right there. Okay, we're just bringing it down. Y, here's my equal sign. We have now isolated the variable. That's what we wanted. Y equals, now here's our separate little section for addition. -5 plus 3. -5 with a +3, signs are different. Find the difference. 5 minus 3 is 2. Sign of the bigger absolute value number would be -5, so -2. Y equals -2. Here's B. N plus 3 equals -10. We want to isolate the variable, so we're going to do the opposite of this right here. What is the opposite of adding 3? The inverse is subtracting 3, or a -3. So here's my N. What is 3 minus 3? That's 0, so it goes away. Goodbye. Here's my equal sign. There's a big space right here. That's okay. -10 minus 3. Now, -10 minus 3 is the same as -3 plus a -3. -10 plus -3. Signs are the same. Find the sum. Keep the sign. -13. So my final answer, N equals -13. Now on both of these, I should check your work to see if it makes sense. -3 plus a -2, what is that? Signs are the same. Find the sum, keep the sign. And it's right there. That's what we wanted. Let's check it over here. -13 for N plus 3 equals -10. -13 plus 3, the signs are different. Find the difference, and sign of the bigger absolute value would be -13. So -10 equals -10. Yep, we got it right. We checked our work. Let's try C. X minus 8 equals -32. I want to get x by itself, so what is the opposite of subtracting 8? Would be adding 8. Bring down your variable x. What is -8 plus 8? Well, signs are different. Find the difference. That would be 0, so goodbye. Bring down your equal sign. -32 plus 8. The signs are different. negative with a positive. So find the difference, which would be, let's see, it's freaking out on me. 12 minus 8 would be 4, and then 2 minus something would be 2. So I'm at 24. And 32, negative 32 has a larger absolute value. So I'm going to keep that negative sign. So my final answer, x equals negative 24. And I can check my work. Negative 24 minus 8. Okay, what is that? Oops. Negative 24 plus negative 8. Signs are the same. Find the sum, keep the sign. And that's exactly what we wanted. Example 2 now. This is 6x, or 6 times x equals negative 120. What is the inverse of multiplication? The inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I'm left with 1x equals negative 120 divided by 6 is a negative 20. So 1x equals negative 20. I can check my work. 6 times negative 20. Does that equal negative 120? Yes, it does. So I am good to go. Here's B. A divided by negative 3 equals 9. Now I have the inverse of, this is division right here. So what is the inverse of division? It's multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by a negative 3 on both sides. This is a negative 3. That negative is going to be multiplied on both sides. So that gives me negative 3a divided by negative 3 equals 9 times negative 3 would be negative 27. Now negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So I'm left with a equals negative 27. You can skip this step if you like. If you can see it, you can skip it. But if you're still a little confused, I strongly encourage you to do this step. That is optional though. Okay, now it's your turn. In 2-5, I would like you to do number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 5. Write the answer to the question in the Google form, but then I want you to bring your work paper to class tomorrow. So do this on paper, and then in the Google form, just tell me the answer. So just write for number 1, W equals the number, whatever it is. I don't want to give you the answer. Okay? So bring your work paper tomorrow and do submit the answer in the Google form. Okay? Good night. I will see you tomorrow.